This is the second screenplay in the Principles of CRM series. It builds on the first one, knowing your clients and prospects, which is a prerequisite for this one, which is about treating them as individuals. It is only by treating them as individuals that you can truly live by the third principle, which is to listen to and understand what they are saying to you. And it is through listening and understanding that you can finally, in the fourth principle, give them exactly what they want. I will begin by talking about why businesses find it difficult to treat clients and prospects as individuals. Then I will explain how a CRM practice and system can help them to overcome these problems. By the end of it, you will also learn how living this principle will add value and resilience to businesses by generating long-term profitable relationships through living up to your client-centric brand promise and develop a truly client-focused culture. Most businesses think of themselves as client-focused, but the way they are structured means that they don't see one client or prospect, but a succession of them. Each department, in effect, has a separate relationship with each client and develops their own idea of what they look like. The problem is these relationships are never joined up, so the whole client or prospect is lost. Clients, in contrast, see themselves as having one relationship with the whole business. Unless these two are aligned, the business cannot build a loyal and profitable client base, and its relationships will remain transactional and fragile. That is because this mismatch makes it difficult to get a connected view of the whole client or prospect as an individual, link what each department does to outcomes for this individual, and join up the processes to manage their whole experience. I am now going to look at each of these areas in turn before explaining how a CRM system can help overcome them. The first reason that individual clients and prospects become lost is that the people in each part of the business relate to them from their own frame of reference, which fits the objectives of their department. For the marketing department, they're a lead, for the sales department, an opportunity, while the delivery see them as a customer. Finance regard them as an account and service as a case. That means the individual client or prospect goes through the whole process unconnected and unrecognized as a whole person. If these different versions of the true client or prospect aren't tethered together, no part of the business can see them as an individual or appreciate their relationship with the whole business. The second problem for businesses in seeing the client or prospect as an individual is that these unconnected relationships are managed by each department to achieve their own objectives and targets. These are usually aligned to maximize the outcome for the business, but that means the value of outcomes for the client or prospect is missing. This lack of direct link for the way each department manages these relationships and the effective delivery of value for the client or prospect means they fall between the cracks as individuals. This underlying problem of disconnection goes deep within most businesses and is reflected in their organizational structure and even the culture of each department. That can easily be seen by comparing the sales and finance departments, for example. It can also be seen in the processes that they use, which are designed to meet the local outcomes we have discussed, rather than manage the whole client or prospect journey. Changing this would mean adopting cross-functional processes and restructuring the whole business, which isn't going to happen anytime soon. But without it, the client experiences a disjointed journey, which demonstrates the internal focus of the business and their peripheral importance. As we have discussed, solving the structural and organizational change to adopt the practice of CRM is a key challenge for most businesses, and it is why many CRM programs struggle to achieve their objectives. We explain how these can be overcome in the STEP program courses. However, CRM systems can be configured to encourage this change and reconnect the fractured relationships businesses have with their clients and prospects. It does this by providing the information needed to understand the whole client or prospect journey, providing line of sight or outcome analysis for each department, and enabling the cross-functional processes required to deliver a consistent client experience. I will now look at each of these areas in turn. First advantage for a CRM is that it can provide a way to tether the different versions of what the client looks like together. That's because it uses the same data and organizes it in the same way across the whole business, provided, of course, it is deployed in this way. That means this information is also available to every person they touch, who can then share in a complete view of the client's whole journey. That includes all past notes, actions, and the conversations they have with other people in the business. This enables whoever touches the client or prospect to treat them as an individual within their own frame of reference. Because CRM systems, again with the same proviso that they are deployed across the business, bring together data from the whole journey, it is possible to connect what happens in each department with the outcomes for each client. Analyzing this information across multiple journeys can then identify leading indicators in each department for developing outcomes which have the maximum value for the client and the business long term. These can then be used to adjust departmental KPIs and objectives to take into account these broader client-driven outcomes. Where a CRM system is used to track and monitor KPIs that have this client-centric focus, it encourages the development of cross-functional processes. That is because each department is then motivated to preserve their contribution, and they depend on the action of others later in the journey for their success. CRMs are also designed to enable these to be embedded by automating these processes with workflow and, where necessary, customization. These are used to trigger events downline from each departmental contribution. Both of these can be cultural and technical drivers to spark more cross-functional thinking in the business. Most businesses consciously seek to put clients at the center of what they do, but they just don't have the structure or infrastructure to make this a reality. Adopting a CRM practice involves deep organization and structural change, without which a CRM system will struggle to deliver. But the system can help to move this agenda on and add value and resilience to a business through focusing on profitable long-term relationships, which are reinforced by providing a consistent branded client experience that delivers on the business's promise of client centricity and helping the business to understand who the client really is. We will now look at each of these areas in turn. If information is collected across the whole client journey and departmental actions are linked to profitable outcomes, different questions can then be asked, such as what type of leads can be converted most easily? Will this sale be easy to deliver? What delivery method will add most value to the client and profit to the business, etc. That can change the way departments think about what their purpose is and focus it more clearly on developing long-term profitable client relationships. This cross-functional agenda can lead to the development of processes that ensure the whole client journey is seamless. When this happens, the business has the structure to deliver and monitor a branded client experience that creates competitive advantage others will find hard to match. Assuming these are focused on client outcomes, they can increase client retention rates that add profit directly to the bottom line. A 5% increase in retention, for example, leads to at least a 20% increase in profitability. Delivering this branded experience depends on capturing data from across the client's journey and having a common way to organise it. Because this is held in one place and can be accessed by all subject to privacy and security, it is much easier for anyone that is touched by the client to quickly see the whole story. It also saves significant time in searching for and trying to retrieve this information, which adds professionalism to the way the clients are treated. That's because it is only by being able to access this information that the team member can truly listen to and understand what the client or prospect is saying, which we will pick up in this next screenplay. This was the second of 4 screenplays in the CRM Principles series. The first showed why businesses find it difficult to know who their clients are. In this one, you saw how this information could be used to treat each of them as an individual. It is followed by the third, which explains why this is crucial in listening to and understanding what they are saying. We put that understanding to work in the fourth when we explain how to deliver exactly what they want every time. These screenplays are part of the Introducing CRM e-learning course. This comes with your own toolkit that helps you to use CRM in your battle to deliver more valuable client relationships. It also explains how to create the exceptional value and resilience in your business that always puts you one step ahead. This is a free course that you can sign up for today by sending me your details at this email address.